welcome back guys, it's brew time again. So today I've got this Festival's Landlords Finest Bitter to brew up. I'm really looking forward to this actually. I went to a country pub recently and I was lucky enough to have an absolutely perfect pint of Timothy Taylor's Landlord. And it's one of those sort of beers that's not really sort of been on my radar too much. I don't know why, because it actually blew my mind. It was so good. I've had a few bottles from the supermarket since, and it's actually pretty good in the bottle, but from the cask that day, it was so good. So it inspired me to have a go at this, which from what I understand is a kind of a clone of the Timmy Taylor's Landlord. It's a traditional sort of pale ale, really, English pale ale. It has celia and apple hops to add in it, and it says classic pale ale, biscuit malt tones layered with subtle fruit character and earthy undertones, a real session ale. Now that is ticking all the boxes for me. This sounds fantastic. Dark gold ale with a white head. So I've already said how much I like these festival kits. You get everything in the box. I've never had a bad one yet. They've all been exceptional. So let's have a look, see what we get in the box for this one. Interestingly, it says on the box here that the ABV of this is expected to be at about 4.3%. Now, the last one I did was the Pilgrim's Host, which was about 5%. Came with a bag of dextrose, and I only added half of that, and it came out about 4.2%. So it'd be interesting to see where this one actually finishes. Of course, you've got a bag of hops, 50 grams of hops. So you know, with these kits, they don't skimp on the hops. They give you a decent packet of hops to add in this dry hop. You get their beer yeast. I've had no reason to swap this out with these kits. It's always done a good job. So you get 10 grams of best bitter yeast. You get a pre-weighed bag of priming sugar. If you saw my last video, I said that I might actually knock this down. You get 100 grams here. So I think they just give you a pre-weighed bag of 100 grams. It's up to you if you want to put it all in, or you can put less in. I probably will be inclined to put about 85 grams of this in to carve the beer up at the end. And underneath you get 2 big pouches of liquid malt extract that says light best bitter on it. 1.5 kilograms, so it's 3 kilograms of malt extract that goes in here, and as I say, there's no additional dextrose, so this is going to be a nice session beer. I'm going to brew this up, and I'm planning to put this into a pressure barrel. So we're getting into kind of September now. I don't like using pressure barrels in the summer because I find it difficult to keep them cool, and of course you serve your beer at whatever temperature your pressure barrel's at. So getting into autumn now. By the time this is brewed, we're going to be into October, so I think it's going to be just spot on serving temperature for this if I stick my pressure barrel out in my outhouse outside. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be my first kegged beer of the year. So it's going to be an easy brew. Just going to stick it in a fermenter with some hot water, pitch the yeast at the correct temperature, and then go back about probably 10 days, a week or 10 days later, add the dry hops, and after that go straight into the keg. So I'm not going to film that part. I'll see you back here for the tasting in a few weeks. Let's get brewing. Right, here we go. Festival Landlords Finest Bitter. So this has been in my king keg now for just over 5 weeks. It's served at temperature of what it is outside, stuck out in my little outhouse, so I guess it's about 12 degrees. There's no bottle obviously, because it comes straight out of the keg. To be honest, I've been drinking this for a couple of weeks. When I first started drawing it off the keg, there was much more of a creamy foamy head. I've made it sort of about 2/3 of the way down the keg without having to use any little CO2 bulbs, so it probably could be a little bit more carbonated if I wanted it to be. I could give it a couple of blasts, but actually I'm finding it drinking really nice just as it is. It's just a kind of spritzy sort of carbonation, which I really like. It's really like just a sort of cask ale as you get out of the pub, which is what I like about those king kegs. get a bit of bad press, I guess. People, can't get on with them. They leak, and they don't hold pressure. Blah blah blah. But if it doesn't take a lot to work it out. Once you sort of suss it out, you can get a cracking pint. As made it 2/3 of the way down the keg without introducing any extra carbonation, if you like. Now, this kit comes with 100 grams of priming sugar. I probably wouldn't use all of that if I was going to bottle it. I'd probably sort of use about 70 or 80 grams of it, but it's pretty much impossible to overcarbonate in a king keg, so I've just whacked 100 grams in, and that's where we are now. So as you can see, it's a lovely sort of, I don't know, I'd say not quite amber, but darker pale ale. What you'd expect. In fact, it's pretty much spot on as you'd expect the Timothy Taylor's Landlord to be. So I brewed this because I'd had a few pints of Landlord in the local pub recently, and it was really nice. I thought I'd have a go at this. Now, you're never going to get an exact copy of a beer. It's obviously a nod towards that particular beer. In terms of colour, it's definitely pretty much there. How does it smell? It came with some dry hops. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I think it was Celia and something else. It was dry hopped a couple of days before the end. It smells really hoppy. It's got an almost bit of a skunky smell to it, if you know what I mean. But I think that's probably because where my pressure barrel is, it's a bit in the sunlight, and I think the light might have affected that, but it's not unpleasant. It's still quite nice, but it's got a bit of a definite sort of skunky edge to it. It is hoppy, it smells hoppy, hasn't got that sort of big American slap you around the back of the head, boom, sort of hoppiness, but it's definitely sort of what you'd expect from a British ale. Smells good. It's really nice. It's a lovely ale, really sort of refreshing, nice malty pale ale. It's quite bitter. I don't know, I can't remember what the sort of IBU is on this, but it's fairly bitter, not too bitter. It's not like American pale ale bitter, but it's American IPA, I should say. It's not that bitter, but it's nice. How close is it to the Timothy Taylor's Landlord? I would say if you're expecting it to be an exact copy, then you're probably going to be disappointed. In its own right, it's a lovely, lovely drinking English style pale ale, and I think that's what you should judge this on. If I am comparing it against the Landlord, I would say that the Timothy Taylor Landlord, has a bit more of a sort of biscuity taste to the malt, which this is lacking. This is it's nice and malty, but it is kind of just missing that hint of biscuit that you get in the Landlord. Comparing the two, if you are expecting an exact copy, I think you're going to be disappointed, but it is still a really nice beer. And don't let that put you off doing it, of course, because it's exactly what I was hoping it would turn out to be, really. A nice, easy drinking, English style pale ale, a bit of a break from the big hopped American style beers that I've been doing. But even still, you've got that sort of nice hop punch there as well, which I like. I like hoppy beers, so it's delivering that. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would, yeah, definitely. I think doing it in the King Keg has really sort of suited this type of ale. I don't know how good or if it could have been better in bottles, but it's certainly spot on. If you're looking for a good beer to whack in your King Keg or your pressure barrel, this is certainly a good contender for that sort of thing. So exactly what I was trying to achieve. Yeah, it's a definite thumbs up for me. Give it a go. Festival beer kits again. I can keep going on about how good they are, but I haven't had one that's disappointed me yet. They've all been spot on. You get everything in the kit. If you just want a good tasting beer that's easy to make, then yeah, these festival kits are spot on. So give it a try. Thumbs up from me. And I'll definitely be doing more festival kits. Cheers, guys.